tell everybody, like and subscribe to Serious and Silliness.
Like and subscribe to Silly and Silliness.
Serious
and Silliness. Dude, I'm horrible, bro. Like, if you tell me to fucking read something, like, listen, if you watch some of my TikTok videos or some of the videos I do, I'm like mispronouncing words. I start trying to say a word. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that. Here's the word. Read it, but here's what it does. It's just, I'm horrible.
That's
Listen,
all right.
follow John. That's it. That's what you do. Hit like, subscribe, call it a day.
Thanks a lot, bro. So today I have the owner of probably one of the most successful and lucrative nutrition supplement stores in the tri-state area. Patryk, who owns Aries Nutrition in New Jersey. What's up, Patryk? What's happening, man?
What's up, my friend?
I really appreciate you coming on and doing this interview with me, man, because you in New Jersey alone, your store is relatively famous because you always have like celebrities within the bodybuilding world, powerlifting world, so on and so forth, that come and promote your brand and your store and so on and so forth. And I wasn't kidding, in the tri-state area within, New York, New Jersey, I'll even say Connecticut and Pennsylvania. Everybody pretty much knows your store. So how did you break into nutritional supplements and still being competitive with the Vitamin Shop, GNC, and everybody buying everything online?
So I'll kind of go with the background, which will explain the base.
Okay.
Because the base is what makes Aries what it makes Aries. So, look, I've ever since I was young, I was always about work. I had multiple jobs. I was born in Europe. I came down, like in a little village. I came down when I was younger with my mom. And since I was able to work 15, I've always worked nonstop.
What part of Europe were you from?
Poland.
Okay.
Born in Poland. Mm-hmm. So, I always worked. My first daughter was born when I was basically getting out of high school. So I started working for a corporation called Coca-Cola, which I'm sure you probably heard of.
Yeah.
So I started working for Coca-Cola, just putting out soda on a shelf. But I was hungry. Like, I was just hungry. And the work I kept putting in, the hours, everything like that, allowed me to progress to the company to a point where I was running districts. Okay. I was literally a district manager running, of multiple managers and everything like that. So simultaneously at that time, I started getting into fitness. I was naturally a skinny kid, kind of like soft. My genetics were I was tall. My shoulders were wide, but I was thin with a little tiny belly.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like that. So, it was funny, man. I seen, Dwayne Johnson. I seen Vin. I'm like, man, those guys are cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? How can I be like them?
Sure.
And be cool, right?
Yeah.
So I joined the gym. The first 5 years was just fucking nothing. No results, man.
Yeah.
My genetics. So yeah. And this is, unfortunately, that's the issue when I'm the general public.
It's 90% of us, man. Yeah, 90% of us.
So, we do our best at that time, reading magazines, asking the bros in the gym, getting nowhere. Then as I started getting more, self-educating myself more, I hired a coach. I started to decide to compete. That's when everything started to click together. I saw how it is a lifestyle and a dedication, and it's a consistency that doesn't stop. And those results created a discipline in me where the gym, which was my escape from reality, my stress relief, became also my drive to improve myself physically, while I was just trying to drive myself forward, financially and with my family and so forth. So anyway, fast forward, that's what I'm doing. I love it. It's my hobby, everything like that. But I hate working for the corporate world. I mean, the higher you go, it's just horrendous. And I was just tired of fighting with people bouncing every night. Like, it was just getting, like, seriously, man. Like, it was like a system battle where I bounced normally. Every time I ever did like an after-hour spot, it was a fight. There's no way around it.
Especially the after-hour spots. I tried bouncing once, and I was like, all right, we're not doing this anymore. This is ridiculous.
Listen, it was like when it was during my single time.
Yeah.
It was cool, man. Like, I didn't have to spend money to go out clubs. I was out of club.
Right,
So,
right, right.
so it was like that, but at the same time, there was no sleep. It was always issues, man. I mean, and I was in deep Philly, so it kind of got messy a lot of times.
Sure, sure.
So I kind of, I was progressing forward, and at that time, I started dating my current fiance, and she suggested for me to open my own business. She owns a hair salon. She's like, look, won't you open, a supplement store? This is, what you love to do. Try it. And right around that time, and I'm very impulsive. So within 24 hours, I went and looked at a spot, literally like that, just within 24 hours, and started working out the paperwork for it. Um, I started getting everything ready. Fast forward 3 months, the company Coca-Cola starts going through restructuring. So I said, cool, man, I'm out. Like, I can't. I took a chance. I took their payout. I took everything I had and dumped it into a store. I didn't, normally, listen, it's not that hard to open a supplement store because, majority of them get opened up. They don't cost up. These guys don't go to Home Depot, buy shelving in Home Depot, paint the walls, buy 5 brands, which are nothing, and call it a store.
Right, right, right.
I didn't want that. My idea when I created the brand was to create something that I love to go to. Because when I was, when I was doing the whole fitness thing, I was going and shopping in a whole bunch of different stores. And there was things that I enjoyed, and then there was the things which was a scam. No matter how much you try to call yourself non-corporate or so forth, and you put a different package on, once you open the package, it's like, wait a second, man, you're doing the same thing you're telling me the corporate stores are, or not, are doing. You're doing the same thing. So I wanted to get away from that. I wanted the brand, the stores to cater to its consumers with very good product, which and very good. And the problem is, very good product costs a lot of money, so the profit's low. So that's why majority of businesses don't go down route. That's a whole different business route. I took the long way.
Right.
Took the very long way. Second, I needed the brand to be something that had meaning and people were proud to have it on their chest. Okay. I knew the only way to do that is to, number one, cut the bullshit, be real, have premium brands, and have people who were influencers, pros, so forth in the industry to back me. And it wasn't like I knew several people. Like I used to train with, I used to train with Nick Walker. I'm good friends with him. I was going to nationals. I was coached by another IFBB pro called Don Cordone. The owner of Apollo, Rob, helped me a lot. Jeff Long from like a pro. Like these guys were like the bases that I already knew. These guys gave the good word to other people, and then it just kind of spread from there. And anytime the business took a step forward, I took that and put it back into the business. And I just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. And, I think that's what caused the name and the stores to become, like so spread so quickly through the word of mouth. It's because the experience that the individuals get when they come into the store.
Yes.
Like, listen, man, I get customers telling me a lot of times where I'm like, dude, did you just tell me not to buy that? And I'm like, yeah, man, you don't fucking need it. Like, here's the ingredients. This is what you told me. This is what I think will works, man.
Right.
So it's a lot of those things, man. So, I wanted to be, look, I work 7 days a week. I'm in a store. Like I wake up at 5:30. I get my day ready. I go to the gym. I work out. I go to the store. I sit in the store all day, or I have meetings or whatever it is. I'm doing something with the stores. By the time I'm done, I don't get home till 9. I don't want it to feel like work.
Right.
I want to have a purpose. Because at the end of the day, look, in my life, there have been times when I made tons of money, like fucking stupid money, right? But there was no substance to it. The substance I started to really thrive for was when the consumers came back and said, dude, you changed my life. Like, I listened to your advice and it actually worked. You didn't lie to me. You told me the truth. Like, those things are substance that I look for. And the only way to do that is to just be real with people and help them. So that's kind of how it was, man. And then, when it comes with the pros, I have a story where I always bring up by Jay Cutler, man. So I was trying to get Jay Cutler's brand in my store forever because he doesn't really wholesale his brand. He does a lot on his online.
Right. Most
So
guys do. Yeah.
yes. And he just doesn't want stores to take it and then put it online on Amazon and screw up his, online business.
Mhm.
So I went through, I went through 5 different connects that knew Jay to ask him if, I can get in contact and thing.
Which one is his brand?
Cutler Nutrition.
Okay. Didn't he have one before that? Alpha.
He did. It was bad. It was like a GNC exclusive brand. It flopped.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so.
It flopped drastically.
All right.
So, and then he rebranded, fixed it, made a whole new thing, and it worked out great.
Okay.
So I remember I had like 5 different people go to him, reach out, and each one he told me, look, I want to keep it to myself, kind of like that way. And I remember I had one of my summer events where I bring a lot of the pros in, and I knew Victor Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
So we're joking around, and I'm like, look, Vic, can you like text Jay, like help me out? And he did, of course he did. He put the word in, he backed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like 2 days later, I'm at the register with a customer, and the customer's talking, and my phone blinks, and I look down, and it goes, hey man, this is Jay Cutler. Give me a call. And I look down, I look up, I go, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because it's listen, like I grew up looking in the magazines
Yes.
for inspiration on how to improve myself from these guys.
Yeah.
So for these individuals who, because at the end of the day, I'm just a regular person like everybody else.
Yeah.
Hey,
I can completely relate because of my YouTube channel.
Yep.
And because all these guys that I've idolized my entire life, and I get to interview them now, I'm like, holy shit! I'm actually texting Branch Warren and scheduling him when he comes on. Johnny Jackson, scheduling him when he comes on. Scott Mendelson, and I'm like, holy shit! I totally can relate. I know what you mean. Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
No, you're good. And so that right there, like, I'm always blessed, man. I'm happy to be able to help people and create something unique. And then at the same time, I'm happy to, live the dream. Like I can live the bodybuilding dream without being a bodybuilding pro,
right?
Without being a bodybuilding national athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can be recognized for what I'm, able to do for people,
mm-hmm.
and how I'm able to, relate and show the love for bodybuilding without being a pro. Like, listen, I love to compete. I try to compete like at least every year. But look, my genetics can only get me so far, and my body, like I've tried, I can only get so far. I always improve, but I'm real about it. I'm not going to be pro, but I'm going to be able to keep improving. So at the same time, it's the same knowledge I spit back, to everybody that comes through those doors. Like,
sure. Now, how many stores do you have now?
Right now, 3 stores.
And where are they located? They all in New Jersey?
Yeah, Hamilton, New Jersey, Edison, and Mount Laurel.
Oh, you're in Edison. Okay, you got one in Edison. That's all right. That's probably the closest one to me because I'm in. I live in Bloomfield.
Yes, it's right across from Topgolf on Route 1.
Oh, okay. I know exactly where it is. You and I have a similar story. I mean, with the exception of coming from Europe. I came from Brooklyn, but it's a little bit different. But same thing. Like I competed in a national, not in a local level. Never did nationals. I knew my limitations, and my YouTube channel podcast. It gives me the satisfaction of being involved in bodybuilding and so on and so forth. I mean, I interview a lot more people than that, but it gives me the opportunity, just like you, to be involved in that world without actually having to be a professional competitive bodybuilder. Right. And, so it's amazing. And it's the God's honest truth with the elite bodybuilders. And I was really surprised, and as you were with Jay Cutler, how they really are looking to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, you get your hard-ons here once in a while. Don't get me wrong. I get it. That's happened. I won't mention any names, but some people wanted to get paid to come on. Other people, trashed me immediately. I get it. But the large majority of people are willing to, no problem. Let's do it. Like yourself. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's interview. So
you know what it is, man? It's like, because then at the same time you could go, well, Does that mean these guys would just go to any store? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These guys would just go anywhere somebody throws money at them, and it's not even the case, because let's say Flex Lewis, right? I had Flex Lewis down in February. I don't care what store reaches out to him and says, hey, listen, let me give you X amount of dollars to come down. He probably won't even go. He's busy. He's a business person.
Yeah.
Worry about he's got his family, he's got his gym. But for me, I was lucky enough where, again, it comes down to, let's say, it was Guy who was able to help me, Rob from Apollon. I was able to reach out to those guys. Those guys reached out to Flex, referenced me, and Flex reached back to me, and it's a wrap.
It's the same thing happens to me. Like, it's amazing, because I just need that 1 or 2 breakthrough interviews, and then it started getting rolling. It's I mean, obviously you're a lot more successful. This is my show is in its infancy, but there's a lot of similarities as far as how to make how to create contacts. So how old is the oldest store?
3.5 years.
That's all you've been around, 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And how old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that is a tremendous success story for only 3.5 years. So how do you stay so competitive when people buy things online, when there's a vitamin shop on every corner, when GNC is not as competitive as it used to be, but there's a vitamin shop on every corner and everybody could order online, and a lot of people, including myself, do?
Yes. So at the end of the day, worry about what you can provide for the consumers and how you make yourself different. A lot of times people get mixed, get caught up with, X, Y, and Z that X, Y, and Z is doing, or whoever's doing, and how can I do it like this? Don't worry about that. I don't care. I really don't care. And when I was first starting out, there were several stores in the USA. Like, I would look and I'm like, man, that's actually a pretty cool idea. That's a good idea. And I still do it. There's several stores where the owners, in my opinion, are doing a great job. They do a lot of cool things where I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. How can I do a spin on that? So, like, I keep an eye out on that aspect. But I worry about what I can provide to the individual that walks in. Nobody can provide knowledge like face-to-face. Nobody.
I agree 100%.
So that's number one, the most important thing. Number two, online is online. Online saturated. Online is the number one competitor no matter what. So you have to figure out how you can play into that aspect. I never dumped money into marketing. Never. No social media marketing, no Google marketing, nothing. Everything was, all my marketing has been done through the athletes that are part of my team that I back, from the pros that come through, to like currently my online business is, a good percentage of it is driven from social media, like TikTok, for example. So it's like that. Because look, at the end of the vitamin shop will destroy everybody because they have sales. But once you break it down, it's like, all right, man, look, I got to buy 10 things to get the regular price.
Happened to me yesterday.
15, and then if I buy 15, then I actually start saving. But then I bought 15 and I only use 7 things. So that's the business model. My business model is simple. Have shit they can't carry because it's too expensive and it's fucking high quality. Have an everyday low price. I give a kickback by having a loyalty rewards program for the consumers, and then just give knowledge, like that way. And also at the same time, it's, a store's a store, right? But a brand is different. So if I was a supermarket or a fucking shoe store, whatever, at the end of the day, I would still have to be some kind of brand that has some kind of meaning behind it for an individual to want to back it. So that's how I do it, man. I just keep doing it that way. I listen to people. I look what's going on. And then I just keep doing it. 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 And then I just keep do And I just keep trying to provide them the same thing consistently, the knowledge. Look, I can't get every customer. But you know what? But I'm not made for every customer.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was made for, Mr. Smith, then that means I would have to present Mr. Smith maybe a different way, who doesn't care and, wants cheap stuff versus, let's say Larry, who wants premium stuff. So no, I cater to premium supplements, quality knowledge, and that's it. And that's the road I move forward.
Yeah, you're basically the old school American corner store where everybody got their information. So what I mean by that is, I was an electrician for 10 years before I started working for New York City. I still do electrical work on the side. I need something. I go to Home Depot, this big conglomerate.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, I need A, B, and C. And the best answer I get is whatever's here.
Right.
Because it's some 19-year-old kid that can't answer me. Whatever's here. I go to the electrical supply house. The guy behind the counter is a retired electrician, been doing it for 40 years. Now he's 60 in his retirement and working there part-time. And I go, hey, I need A, B, and C. And he goes, I got this. Well, how are you doing that? And I can do this, and you do this, and you do that, and you do this. And hey, I find it got a better way, so on and so forth. You're that equivalent with supplements. That's the difference. And I hate corporate gyms. I hate Home Depot just because that. They should change the name to Home Depot to whatever we have here, because that's the answer I get every time I go there. Every time I go there. So let's talk. Okay, 21-year-old kid comes in. 21-year-old college kid comes in, and he's looking to work out and start working out and put on some muscle. He's got limited money. Maybe he's got $100 in his pocket or whatever, because he's only working part-time. And he says, all right, look, what's the basics? What do I need here? I want to put on 10 pounds of muscle within the next 6 months. Help me. What do I do?
So if he already spits everything to me, because normally I ask tons of questions for the individual so I can put him in a direction. If he already spits everything to me and I already, his budget's low, which is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell her the same thing. If you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, your body composition would be dictated by what you put into your body. So I give everybody a breakdown on that first, carbs, proteins, and how things work. I explain to them the base. Mm-hmm. Then after I explain the base, right, which is everything with food, training, and cardio, whatever you're doing it, then I go into categories and supplements, health, pre, intra, post, and specialties, right? And within those, I let the person listen to all that and then decide what makes sense the most for their budget and what they're trying to accomplish. Now, a young kid that's 21 that's trying to put on weight, it's simple, man. Like you're gonna make your meals, right? You're not gonna be able to make 5 because you probably can't. You're gonna make your 3 meals. I'm gonna give you something. It's either real food replacement or a weight gainer, or even real rice-based carbs with isolate. So you can put that in between your meals, and then after that, it's like, you need a pre? Okay, we can do a pre, but let's do maybe some organ support or some vitamins. It may not be flashy and cool, but at least that's the basis that you need, and then we can get into everything else. So it's just long conversations, man. These guys, there's long conversations always to kind of pinpoint and get them into the right direction, man.
Okay. So I've also saw you doing reviews. You do supplement reviews on your social media, on Instagram, TikTok, and so on and so forth. Right now, the most popular stuff right now, everybody wants a pre-workout. What do you think the best formula and what brand is that you carry that is the best bang for your buck pre-workout?
Well, with pre-workout, there's no best pre-workout for somebody, because everybody needs either a high stim or low stim. So those are 2 things that can vary. When it comes to a pump, then yes, and then when it comes to focus, then yes. That's like kind of like the same. Like if you want to max out, you want to max out. So if we're going, and again, it goes with budget. If somebody's on a budget, then we need a blend of everything in one. If somebody comes in and says, look, low stim, tons of focus, tons of pump, fucking overloaded, hostile, hostility. There's another brand called Like a Pro, Jeff Long, like that right there. Those are great pre's where they're low stimulants, but they have everything else maxed out. Even AMP Legion series, which they just released, is another one that falls into that category. If somebody comes in and says, look, I want more energy, which is okay, because so let's say we have energy here and we have everything else here, it's going to go like this, manufacturing costs and so forth. Then we get into like that middle field. Alpha Lion Supreme is a great blend. Sea Bumps Savage is a great one. That's a good one. That can kick a little harder. There's another one called MVP from Nova Farm. Those would be your blends. And then once somebody says, look, man, I need a lot more stim, then I'm like, all right, man, you got to give up the focus. And I'm sorry, you got to give up the pump. And then I can get you some crazy stuff with focus and stimulants. It's kind of on that aspect when it comes to the priest.
Yeah, I have one scary story about pre-workout, and that's why I always stick to basically the same three, because I either don't get a good reaction or I get a terrible reaction. So about 5 years ago, me and my wife, my 40th birthday, my wife took me to Las Vegas and we went to Olympia, because she knew I would love it. And, they give you all the free stuff and blah, blah, blah. So we got a whole bunch of free stuff. So I come home and it's the middle of the summer and I go to the gym, like, I'm going to try one of these new pre-workouts. And I've used pre-workouts before. It says, oh, take half. I'm like, I could take the whole thing. I've used C4, I've used Hyde, I've used, right, whatever. Yeah. So I'm in the gym working out. Energy is great. And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, I am sweating so bad that it's seeping through my clothes.
Yeah.
In embarrassment. I mean, I always wear two shirts. I wear an undershirt and then I wear a shirt on top of it. And it's just unbearable. So I leave, I go home, I change my clothes and it continues and I'm sweating right through it. And I'm like, what the fuck, man, what is going on? And it didn't stop till the stuff was out of my system probably about 6 hours later. It got so bad that I just took a shower. I was like, I don't know what to do. What was it that was in it?
Must have been a heavy thermogenic.
Thermogenic, you said?
It must have been a heavy thermogenic. Yeah, that falls into like the fat burning category, where you have like appetite suppression and the thermogenics. Thermogenics' job is basically turning you into an oven. Turns you into an oven, which in turn coincides with sweat, coincides with extra calorie burning. Unless it was just so heavy stim based, and maybe they just had a couple different hemp beans in there, and then you got heated up. Maybe they added some grains of paradise, and then it was just in your system for a long time. That's a possibility too. So grains of paradise is like it's kind of like cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, you eat it, you get hot. So grains of paradise is a plant that works the same way.
Okay.
So you take it and it starts getting you hot. The more you move, the more you heat up, and so forth. So sometimes it's put in pre's at a low dosage to kind of warm you up quicker. Or your hemp bean, which basically starts turning fat into energy. But a lot of people don't react good with it, which could be also like a heavy stimulant and sweat and things like that.
Okay.
I have a feeling it was a thermogenic in there, where it was a pre with tons of ingredients to basically make you sweat like crazy. And
yeah, that's what happened. Holy shit. So basically when it comes to pre-workouts, I stick to three of them: the C4, but on the go, because I don't like using creatine because I get kidney stones. I use Total War from Redcon 1, or I use the GAT. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it has the testosterone.
Nitro.
Right. That one. Out of those three, well, which ones do you like the best?
None.
No. Okay.
Listen, you don't want to know how I feel about all three of them.
Okay. No, I do. I really do. I want
so here's the reality situation. Those are extremely popular brands.
Right.
Corporate brands.
Okay.
So what that means is they have to cost less manufacturing. When the general public, when they take a pre, the company's job is to make the person who's never worked out or used anything feel it. That's it. Because a regular person won't know what how focus is yet, and they won't really know a pump. They can literally get a pump just by touching weight. It just happens. It's the first thing they've ever experienced in their life.
Right.
But they will feel their heartbeat. So we just got to get them a lot of energy. So we stick to simple ingredients, keep it simple, give us some citrulline, gives us some NO, that gives it NO, some beta alanine, so they feel a little itch, so they think that's doing something special.
Okay.
B3 niacin, it gives like a flush feeling because the veins are opening up. And then we load it with caffeine. That's their basis.
That's it.
Their basis. When you go into diversity, you take that base, but then you start adding ingredients to stimulate neurons in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That stimulation calms your heart down, for example, between sets. That focuses you, creates better muscle connection with your mind. And then when you go into a pump, that's different pathways too. You got nitrous oxide, blood flow, water, cell saturation within the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So different aspects. But Total War, C4, same thing with GAT. Their marketing.
It was called Nitroflex. That's it.
Yes. Their marketing is there's millions of dollars put into the market, right? It gets slammed. It's quick buys. They're very budget friendly. But at the end of the day, if something is very budget friendly, it doesn't cost much to make.
Okay.
So people will feel it, right? Yeah. But if somebody's looking for more diverse and more out of their product, then they have to kind of expand a little bit more.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to your store and maybe this weekend if I'm not working, I'm going to come to your store. I'm going to text you which one you're at, and then I'm going to buy one that you recommend for me instead of one of the.
I'm going to change your life.
All right, good. That is a promise. That is a promise. Now, the Total War, Redcon one.
Yep.
And then also, what was the other one? That guy's just name.
Our guy Blackstone. Yep.
Blackstone. Okay. They've gone under a lot of problems recently. Do you think that it affects its products, or do you think it's basically how they strategize their products to begin with, as far as like you said with the Total War and being cost effective and so on and so forth?
Their products, when it first came in, Blackstone came into the scene first. Mm-hmm. Their products were insane. Well, half of their products are fucking juice in it. So
okay, that's another question.
Yeah, they had half of their products spiked. It was what it was. So everybody loved it. They made tons of their money. But when you go into mainstream, you have to cut that back, and you have to limit your costs. Redcon was created from Blackstone's money. Okay, and Redcon was, again, it was good when it first came, but then it hit mainstream. The reality situation is, if you think about it this way, right? If you want to have massive distribution outside of the USA, right? Well, when you're looking at countries where the dollar is worth so much more than a currency, the product has to be dirt cheap,
right?
For you to make money once the currency switches over and you're sending pallets to another country. And these companies, these giant companies, they don't just dominate the American market. They have across the whole country. So as the time went on, the products got watered down. It is what it is. But that money went into hiring people like Kai Green. There's no way that guy's not getting I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he's not getting 15 or 20 grand a month.
Yeah, the number I heard, I don't know how true it is. The number I heard was 30 grand a month.
It wouldn't surprise me because I know, for example, Regan gets 16.
Wow, that's
Regan isn't even, and that's from GAT,
right?
But they have that money,
right?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Regan isn't even a top 10 Olympic competitor or anything like that.
Right.
So, yes. But no, Blackstone did what they did. The problem is, a lot of companies do this shit. They get hit, they get pinched, they get rated. The manufacturing get rated. The problem is they got rated and they never stopped. They got rated again and again. And then by the time they stopped, it was already too late. Everything started going through courts. Then a couple years later, the indictments started coming. I mean, they went so hard after them. They literally went after their reps.
Wow.
Like people that were just their reps had to even go to court, were stuck in Florida on house arrest, everything. So yeah, they wanted to prove a point, man, and they fucking rammed them.
So these supplement companies are basically regulation free.
Yes, their regulation falls into, if you really kind of get technical, down to the manufacturer, because depending, like you have good manufacturers that are third party tested, and then you have manufacturers that are just manufacturers, right? So your third party tested manufacturers, where a random person comes in and checks if they're putting X amount that they're putting on the labels into their products, they're checking their ingredients and so forth. Those manufacturing companies are following the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And then the companies that have their product made by those companies have no choice but to follow those rules.
Okay.
That's how that works.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's one third party regulator is it USP?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that's one of them. I don't know any others. But all right, so let's say again, I'm a random person, want to come in, I want to buy protein. Okay. And that's another reason why people should go to your store, because they could speak to you and you have the knowledge. Once again, you go to the vitamin shop or you shop online, you're kind of just winging it because you really don't have any guidance.
And here's the other thing too.
Bad.
The reviews that people read online. So I'm going to give you a little, like for the people, a little secret. If I wanted to, I can create my own reviews with fake names on every single product on my own website.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's that simple. Now, and look, my review, like let's say I give a real review on a product, right? A real one. That's my review that coincides with my diet, my training, my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? How does that person reading that review know anything else other than, yeah, that product worked great. I worked out for 5 hours. It was the best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the other components though?
Right.
Because everybody's completely different. So reviews are fucking nonsense. I hate reviews.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to throw
No. It's fine. Believe me, this is a wealth of knowledge. So now let's talk. This will be the last subject because I wanted to hit on pre-workouts and protein.
Yeah.
And obviously, everybody knows 100% isolate, right? Whey, right? And as a consumer, I like to try different products. I mean, I get bored of the same thing, but I've noticed that some ways are thicker, some ways are thinner. And these are the ones that I usually stick to when it comes to, and if it's trash, tell me it's just like the pre-workout. I usually stick to Dimetize, Isopure, and BSN.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think of those three? All right.
Isopure is the original pioneer for isolates. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're great.
Okay.
But they taste like shit.
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't upgraded their their flavoring, and every other company is just beating their ass.
Okay.
Like that's just flat out. They need to fix that. They need to fix their flavoring. And they do have hints of soy in there, which I'm not a fan of, but they need to fix that.
Okay.
ISO 100, right?
The Dimetize ISO 100,
yes. Yeah. That one's good.
Oh, but, okay. I got
some
one.
People, that one's good. It's just some people may not like how sweet it is. Dude, they put a couple grams of sweetener into those bad boys.
Really?
Because again, who are they catering to?
Right. Okay.
The general public who has a sweet tooth.
Yes.
It has to be fucking sweet.
Right.
So the only way to do that is you load it with a lot of sweeteners, which really isn't a problem unless you're a general person who drinks 2 glasses of water a day.
Wow. Okay.
And then you're getting buildups.
Right.
And in BSN, are you referring to which one? The Sin?
The Synergy, yeah.
Sin 6, yeah. If you look on the label on the back, they have so many chemicals in it, they can't even fit it on the damn page. I believe that protein grams per scoop versus protein is like at 40%. So if you want to see like the quality of protein, okay, look, there's going to tell you how much a scoop weighs. All right. You take that grams versus how much protein is in there. Isolates, for example, you get 24, 25 grams of protein. And the scoop is usually 30, 31, or 32.
Mm-hmm.
That's over 90%.
Okay.
And when you start getting into more concentrated, which is multiple sources coming in, you start dropping to 80% and even less. Like I can go to Costco and get a 5-pound bag of protein for like $50,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only 2 pounds of it is protein.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3 pounds is fucking diarrhea.
Okay.
So that's the kind of protein breakdown, man.
All right. So I'm going to ask you about one more. I'm going to ask you about one more supplement brand, and you tell me. I kind of want to give you the name because I've advertised my podcast on his. But we'll just say it was from. Once I describe it, you'll know. I'll just text it to you. You got your phone there?
Yeah, I got my phone.
Okay, I'll just text it to you. All right, here we go. And this is for me personally.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just gonna switch that. We're just not gonna do that anymore.
Oh, get rid of that
okay.
one?
It's okay. I know what brand you're talking about.
Okay.
I would. All right, let me put it this way. If I know a brand specifically, it's because it came across my radar.
Okay.
It either came across my radar as very good, or it came across my radar as fucking
trash.
No.
Yes.
That one you just said, it skimmed by my radar, which means it didn't catch my attention to really dig deep into it.
I see.
Now it's simple for me, dude. Once we get off this call, dude, I'll just look into it, check the ingredients, and just let you know.
Okay.
But because it just kind of skimmed by, I have a feeling it's not premium and not high quality. Because if it wasn't, like, if it's falling into that category, dude, I'm going after it. I'm going after it, and I'm bringing it in here. Like,
I see.
Yeah, like where's Hostile, right? You know Hostile, the brand Hostile.
Yeah, I mean that guy. From what I understand from you and several other people told me, his stuff is amazing.
Yes. So Hostile, Quad made the brand. I think it was 2 years ago. It came across my radar right away. I talked to Quad. It didn't. I destroy names. I'm so horrible. Quad.
It's all right. I don't think anybody can pronounce his name right.
It came across my radar. I was like, wow, these ingredients are great. And I was like, it's growing, but it's not the time yet for me to throw it in because I had other things coming.
Mm-hmm.
Then fast forward, it was like 4 or 5 months. I was like, shit, man, this brand is popping up. The Brojet started popping. His podcast started becoming more famous. I was like, I need this fucking brand. I need it. I reached out to, of course, I used one of my connections. They got him to him. He called me. We talked like the usual, right? He told me what his margins are. I'm like, that's fucking horrible, but I don't care.
Okay.
That was literally I was like, I don't care.
Okay.
Your shit is expensive, and like the most expensive I carry, my cost wise, but the ingredients are there and I want it.
Okay.
Because I'm bodybuilding. Like that's what I like. I'm fitness, everything that has to do with fitness, right? If you're powerlifting or just going to the gym because you enjoy it, I'm gonna help you. But because I bodybuild, I tend to cater towards that.
Sure.
Which is nothing wrong with that because those products are fucking super high dosed. So if anything, no matter what you're doing, you're gonna enjoy them.
Right.
So right away when I seen that, I was like, I want it. And fast forward, a lot of these brands, I tell them up front, I was like, look, I don't want anything. I want your brand for a reason. Let me show you how much I back your brand, and then we can talk later. And that's ended up happening. And I'm the only distributor in New Jersey for Hostile.
That's fantastic, dude. I have never tried. I'm gonna definitely come into your store now. That's it, because now I am gonna try because I've always wanted to try Hostile, but I never kind of ordered it from him directly. So I can come to your store. I could get that. You can give me the new pre-workout that you're gonna recommend for me. And I think from here on in, I'll be coming to your store instead of ordering online.
Listen, you could do whatever's. Listen, I give knowledge, man. So all you do is just text me. You text me or ask me just like anybody else. Hey, here's what's your opinion? And I get it. Trust me, I get questions on products I may not even carry or can't carry that are good, and I'm flat out to the person. Yeah, man, this is good. You should buy it, or I'm glad you bought it. Like cool. That's all I care about. Is I care about the knowledge and being real. Like that way, and like I said, the person doesn't have to be in a store. They can message me however it is, but that's what I do, man. I help out that way.
And that's why you're a success story, and that's why you'll continue to be a success story for as long as you want to be in the nutritional supplement line industry, because you're honest, and it goes a long way. And the majority of people like that about somebody they're dealing with in business.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. And I really appreciate you coming on the show. It means a lot to me because, like, my number one love is bodybuilding, just like yours. So when I first saw your social media, and I've always heard about your store and all the guys coming there, I was like, oh, I got to get this guy on. And it's fantastic. Great interview, dude. I really appreciate you coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity to get myself more out there and, let people know that I'm here to help them and the brand is there to help them.
You got it, brother. And before we go, tell everybody, like and subscribe to Serious and Silliness.
Like and subscribe to Silly and Silliness.
Serious
and Silliness. Dude, I'm horrible, bro. Like, if you tell me to fucking read something, like, listen, if you watch some of my TikTok videos or some of the videos I do, I'm like mispronouncing words. I start trying to say a word. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that. Here's the word. Read it, but here's what it does. It's just, I'm horrible.
That's
listen,
all right.
Follow John. That's it. That's what you do. Hit like, subscribe, call it a day.
Thanks a lot, brother. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem, my friend.
All right. Take care soon.
See you.